So, welcome to Teachings of the Womb by the Sacred Rose Temple. I have been in a complete state of creative perpetual birthing in my womb for, I'd say, a few years since I've been doing womb work and healing work and psychological work, but not as much as I have been in the last month or so. It has been a really miraculous time for me as I felt really stuck. I felt really disempowered and, all the things that we all felt during the lockdown and the things that have been happening in the world. But there is something changing in our collective. There is an uprising of women. There is information all over the media about women, being suppressed and repressed, and the same old stories that have dogged history with the feminine. Only this time there is a whole, movement of women, and I kind of want to compare this to what happened in the 1960s with sexual liberation and the introduction of like the contraceptive pill and all of those things that seem to liberate the movement of women. It's happening again, but on a much more spiritual level. And I spent a very profound week at Chartres, which is a very sacred space in France that was marked by the Druids as a place of the virgin energy of a woman and a space that is known as the perpetual birthing womb. And since I've been there, much has been changing for me, really, on a womb level. Womb work was something I engaged in many, many years ago in different modalities. First of all, with a beautiful teacher that introduced me to like womb yoga, and then not so great introduction to working with the womb, although I wouldn't change it for the world, with a dark teacher who took me into the dark shadow of my womb, which I feel was a very necessary journey for me in order to be able to be taken on a healing journey and a shadow journey so that I could heal the womb and then begin to teach from a much more healed space, a much more conscious space, and a space that embodies not only the somatic, but the psychological, the shadow, and the spiritual. So that's why I've opened this group. I really feel that the time has come that women begin to stand in their womb power. The womb is like so bloody powerful that when I began to enter her, my whole life began to change, and some parts for the not so good, even though I look back on them and say that needed to happen to me. But I'm going to tell you, the womb takes you on a massive journey, a magical journey. The womb only has one intention for you, and that's to bring you into your magic, into your power, to your divinity, into your creational power as a woman. And many, many women do not get to experience this energy that lives in their wombs. Number one, because they have no idea about it. Number two, because there are so many woundings that need to be healed within the womb and the sexual self and the feminine self. And so I really felt that, coming into this underworld time, we're going into autumn on this side of the world, into Halloween, into the Venus underworld, was a really good time to begin to bring out my womb work again. And my intention is purely to really empower women, is to really get as many of us out there actually sat in our womb power, creating, changing this world, and using that energy really to override the patriarchal dominance that we're seeing in our world. War, repression of the feminine, subjection to the loss of free will, and the overriding of the will to power. The masculine, which lives within inside us as women too, has this huge thing about being in power. And when we submit to the womb doesn't need power, because the womb is all powerful. She already has within her the potentiality to create all life form. So there is no grasping for power. There is no needing to override other people. It's a symbiosis of magic and, submission to the divine. So I just wanted to share this in the group because this is my intention in the group. My intention in the group is for us all to come into the power of the divine. I honor my time and I honor my teachings. And so I will be offering courses in here that are paid for, but I also honor the fact that time has to be given and that we are to be charitable and that we are to serve. So I will be offering free things in this group as well. And I want us all to consider that. Where are we giving? Where are we taking? This group, I want you to give to the group. I want you to share anything that's feminine, womb, menstrual, menopausal, all of those things that is part of the power of a woman in this group. And I want you to take from the group as well. So if this really resonates for you, you are in the right place. It is gone far too long that we as women have been sat at the outskirts of life and power. And it's about time we stepped in. So I hope this message reaches far and wide. And I hope we as women can come into this space and co-create from our wombs, empower, encourage, bring all the things up that gets in the way of us supporting each other and sharing all the knowledge that many of us have access to that are doing this work. And we invite all the timid ones that sit on the outside saying, oh, I don't know what this is and I'm not really that spiritual, I don't really know what this means. You are welcome into this space. So I'm sending you all a massive, massive womb hug and hoping to share as much as I can in here, both in the sense of courses and teachings and teach trainings, and as much as I can give freely to you all so that you can experience the potency of the womb. So bye for now and speak to you all very soon. Lots of love.